Hello and good evening, good afternoon or good morning, no matter where you are in the world. Welcome to this evening's Bewisetrader live presentation with myself, Darren Barton, and we have the, let me just check, Green Diamond Advanced Trader.
No, Senior Trader.
Senior Trader, I'm sorry. We have, as you can hear, Simon, I've got lots of titles. Patmore with us, very, very successful member of the Bewisetrader team. And we're very fortunate that we've got him tonight to go through the presentation. Now, for those of you who've watched our Thursday evening presentations in the past, will notice that we've got a little bit of a change appearing tonight. And we're going to break it down into three sections. We're going to do the first section, which is going to be Simon going through the presentation, and we're going to be explaining how you can make this amazing passive income. And when I say passive, I mean 100% passive income. In fact, you're not allowed to do anything. There's nothing more you can do other than buy these packages, which is amazing. And Simon's going to explain how that all works. And then after that, Simon's then obviously going to give us a team update. As you're aware, Simon is the leading UK representative, if you like, for Bewisetrader. And he's got obviously a team of people, and he wants to give everybody an update on what's happening, what's in the future, answer some questions about what's been going on in the recent past. And then after that, the third part of the evening is the live Q&A, which is usually quite lively. So any questions that you might have, you need to make sure that you're watching this on the live, obviously watching it live because we can't answer it if it's not live, but you need to be watching it on the, what's it called? The events page. Well done. You need to be watching it on the events page, and the link for that will be in the Facebook group. Or if you haven't got that and you're watching this on YouTube, then go to the Facebook group and obviously click on the events page there. Once you're on the events page, down in the right-hand corner, there is a little green button, I think, and it says ask a question or submit a question. And obviously, if you click on that, you'll be then able to type the question. And I can see already people are eagerly typing in some questions. So we've got some great questions already lined up there. Now, there is a little bit of a time delay between us talking and you watching this. I think it's about a couple of minutes time delay. So obviously, we will give you lots of heads up as we progress towards the Q&A session. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce to you my bestest friend online, which is Simon Patmore, and he's my bestest friend because he's obviously introduced me into Bewisetrader just a few months ago, and I've never ever looked back. So thank you very much, Simon, and I will hopefully hand over to you now, and we'll just get you all activated with the presentation.
Lovely. Thanks very much, Darren. That's very kind. Right, I shall share my screen for people. So hopefully that one there should give the presentation. If you could just check that for me, Darren.
Yep, we can see that. It's looking good.
All okay?
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, well, welcome everyone to, well, it's tonight in the UK, maybe a different time where you are in the world, or whether you're watching this as a recording. But I'm here tonight to tell you all about Bewisetrader. So here we are on the starting blocks ready to go. So the gun goes off and I'm ready and we're away. So Bewisetrader, they are basically aiming to be the largest company in the world for training and sports tips. They have a whole team of sports trading professionals. The company itself has an office in London. I had the pleasure a few weeks ago of taking some of my team leaders down to London, and we actually met the owners of the company. They came across, Augusto Queiroz and Miguel Cavallo came across to meet us in their offices in London, and we spent about 5 hours talking to them to understand some of the plans for the company going ahead. The company itself was established by Miguel and Augusto. Miguel is a very experienced sports trader, has over 10 years experience trading in Europe. He wanted to basically trade more money. He went to the banks and of course they said, no, we're not going to loan you any money, because at the end of the day, what bank would loan you money to go and gamble it at the end of the day or to trade sports? He then tried a few investors, same thing happened. So he spoke to his colleague Augusto, who's experienced in the multi-level marketing, network marketing arena, and said, do you know, have you got any ideas? And he said, well, why don't we have lots of little people like you and me who perhaps want to put a little bit of money in, and then we'll trade with their funds so we can then grow that particular pot of money. And that's exactly what they're doing with Bewisetrader. The actual company has their main offices in Lisbon in Portugal, and they have 54 full-time traders who literally, they've just moved actually to new premises. I'm not sure it is this week or certainly the coming weeks. They're moving to new premises in Lisbon, and then all the traders will be there together in the head office in Portugal. So who is Bewisetrader? Well, they're a visionary company. They want to offer quality products and services which enables anyone to get involved in the fascinating market of sports predictions. The company has a professional training system that they're developing at the moment that will enable us to participate in that market. So we can then become a trader and we can explore this amazing market. So the team themselves, as I said, there's 54 full-time traders. Some of those are actually what they call analysts. So they'll actually look at the particular teams, how they've performed in the past, or it may even be an individual player. Has that player suffering from an injury? Is there a particular player that's not going to be performing that well on the day? Those are some of the analysts that perform the information and pass those on to the traders so they then can trade the particular matches. The team themselves are ready to train us, and they provide tips of a very high quality. The whole objective, though, is they obviously want to grow the company's financial results, which helps us make more money as well. So, Bewisetrader, what is their vision? The company was launched in May 2015 as Bewisetrader. They then planned to create their own bookmaker, so just like Ladbrokes, William Hill, any of those types of companies. They planned to launch that in November 2016. And then further on, 18 months later, March 2018, they want to create their own betting exchange. And then by January 2020, they want to be recognized as the world leader in sports trading. So what is this sports prediction market? Well, a study was conducted in 2013, and it showed that this market was worth more than 200 billion euros a year. Just to give you a bit of an idea, or a bit of an example, a few weeks ago, there was a match between Real Madrid and Barcelona. In that particular match, more than 30 million euros was actually traded. So significant sums of money being traded in this particular marketplace. And the other thing to point out is this market is growing literally on a daily basis. More and more people are getting involved. So who are some of the big players in this marketplace? Well, we have what are called bookmakers. Some of them are on the high street, but some of them are on the internet. There's big companies like BeWin, who sponsor Real Madrid Football Club. You've got Bet365, who regularly advertise on UK TV. They particularly specialize in what they call the in-play market. So that's placing bets part of the way through a match. You might be perhaps betting on who's going to score the next goal, whether it be a team or even an individual person, when's going to have the next corner. And would you believe it, even in tennis, you can actually bet on who's going to score the next point. So you can imagine how many bets you can place on a tennis match. You then have companies like Sporting Bet as well. All these bookmakers are registered and licensed across the world, even into some states within America. And you can basically place predictions on all sorts of sports. You've got some examples down here: football, tennis, Formula One, and so on. But a lot of these big companies here, a lot of these bookmakers, you'll have heard of them because they sponsor a lot of very large football clubs or even individual stadiums or players themselves. So these bookmakers have a significant budget to spend on marketing. Clearly, if they're spending that money on marketing, they need to be making some money and some profits in the marketplace. And they'll even sponsor some very large competitions. Some even have their own specific competitions. So that's bookmakers. In addition, we also have betting exchanges. One of the biggest in the marketplace is Betfair, but there's other ones out there like S Markets, BetDAQ, Matchbook. But Betfair is known as one of the largest. Well, it is the largest. It's the largest in the world. It's been online since 2000. It's actually licensed in England and Australia. It is a significant business with more than 2,000 employees, 4 million customers, and would you believe 17 million transactions a day. So what is a betting exchange? What's the difference? Well, with a traditional bookmaker, you might go down the high street or on the internet, and you might place a bet for a particular team to win. If that team wins, you then receive the money back from the bookmaker, and the bookmaker loses money. With a betting exchange, it's completely different. You're actually betting essentially against someone else. You're not betting against the bookmaker. So what Betfair does, it matches those bets up, a bit like a dating site. So you place your bet for instance, on Manchester United to win, and someone else in the world might think, well, Manchester United are not going to win. Now, you don't know who that person is, but if you agree the same odds, that bet is then placed. It's what they call matched. So you're essentially betting against that other person. Betfair hold the money in your account while the match takes place, and then at the end of the match, whoever wins, they take the winnings from the other person. But the clever bit for Betfair is they take a little commission. Well, it's a bit more than a little. They'll take on average about a 5% commission. So every transaction that takes place on Betfair, these 17 million as example, they're potentially taking up to 5% of every one of those. And just to give you an idea, in the UK, we have regular horse racing. And on most horse races, you'll see as much as £1 million traded just on that one particular horse race. And we could have as many as 10 to 15 horse races a day during particular seasons in the UK. So significant amount of money we're talking about in this marketplace. So imagine if you personally had the skills to actually participate in this market. Think of it as a massive cake. Just imagine if you could just have a little slice of that particular cake and that was coming into your bank account. Well, Bewisetrader today can allow you to do that. And it's based on the sports market, and you can become part of that marketplace and you can start earning money from that yourself. What they do is they provide training courses and tips, and the training is of an extremely high quality. But the good news is you don't have to do that training if you don't want to. They'll actually do the sports trading for you, and they'll give you a profit share on what you do. Sorry, on what they do. So you can become a trader and you can become a success. So what Bewisetrader have done is they've established 4 main plans here: the bronze, silver, gold, and diamond plan. When you join, you also need to buy this little pack here, this BWT pack, which is $50. So if you just add $50 onto each of these packs, that's essentially what you buy as a plan. So for instance, you buy the bronze pack, that's $310. That gives you 5 tips per month. You get a trading course. But the most important thing is these 2 asterisks at the top here. Bronze. It says access to a share of the company's earnings. What does that mean? Well, what it means is you'll receive an income every week based on the profitability of the company, based on their sports trading activity they're doing. So that's what you get with each of these packs. And the difference in the packs obviously is the cost of the pack. You then receive more tips per month and a slightly more advanced training course. But with each one of these programs, so bronze through to diamond, you receive that regular weekly profit share, which I'll explain a little bit more in a second. So these packs, what happens when you buy them? Well, these packs are valid for 12 months, a full 12 months. You actually get 52 weekly payments as part of the profit share. If you decide to join at one particular level, you can upgrade to the next level. But you can't have more than one of these particular plans or packs. So you can't have 2 bronze or 2 gold. You can have 1 bronze or 1 silver or 1 gold or 1 diamond. But if you should decide to start at any one of these levels, you can upgrade to the next one. And you can even skip a level. So you could go straight from bronze to diamond if you wish to. If you did upgrade, all that you would do is you'd pay the difference in costs between the 2 packs. So in the case of a bronze to a diamond, you pay the difference, $1,300 minus $260. And then you just pay a $50 administration fee to do that upgrade. And once you've done that upgrade, you then become, for instance, a diamond member, which is actually our most popular package, and your contract resets itself and starts again for another 12 months or 52 weeks. But once you get to the diamond level, you can actually buy even more diamonds, and you can keep buying more diamonds and more diamonds. And you can actually have up to 10 diamonds in one particular account. And you'll see in a second the type of income that that can generate. But in addition, you can have more than one account at a particular household. So you might have a partner that you want to have an account as well. Well, they can also have an account at the same address as long as they have a government proof of identification. They need to be 18 or over, and they need to have proof that they live at that address. If that's the case, you can have more than one account at that address, which then means you're not just restricted on the 10 diamond packages. There are all sorts of different income streams, but I'm just going to take the first one at the moment, the profit share bonus. And this is what we were talking about. So once you buy that pack, you'll then become part of the program. The company then trade that money for you. And then they return a profit share, which is an net profit that they make themselves on their own trading. So Miguel and his 54 traders, they're actually trading 3 different sports at the moment. So they're doing football, they're doing basketball, and they're doing tennis. And when they trade those, they give us back a weekly profit share, and that's paid every Tuesday. So the second Tuesday after you join, you start receiving that payment, and that gets paid straight into your back office on a regular basis for the full 52 weeks. So what I'll do now is I'll just switch to another slide, hopefully. Has that come up, Darren, or not?
No, we're not seeing that at the moment.
Let me reshare. Is that better?
That's it. Yeah, got that now.
Yep, you got that. Right. Okay. So what we've got here is an example of typical earnings that you might receive from each of these individual packs. So bear in mind, all you've done here is you've purchased one of these packs. You've not done anything else. You've basically logged in, you've registered, you paid for your pack, and you start receiving an income the second Tuesday after joining. That's all you need to do. So let's imagine you start off with a bronze pack. So this is $310. This is an international company, so everything is done in dollars, but I will show you a slide at the end which is in UK pounds for those people in the UK. But let's focus on dollars for the moment. As I said, these are 12-month contracts. So you buy the bronze pack for $310. You then receive a weekly earnings between $16 and $17.55. If you then multiply that by 4 to give you roughly the monthly earnings, and then if you multiply the 52 weekly earnings by the annual, to get the annual, you've then got between $832 and $912 you're earning. Now, the only thing you need to bear in mind is there is actually what we call a monthly tips fee. That's a compulsory fee you need to pay, but you actually receive that free, or you don't need to pay it for the first 2 months. In this particular case, for a bronze package, that's only $9.90. So you can see that's less than even 1 week's profit share. You don't need to worry about, though, as it says here, it's paid automatic from your back office. So you don't need to do anything. You don't need to log into your back office and pay it. The system does that automatically for you. So in theory, you could register, purchase the pack, your account would then get activated. You needn't then do anything. And then at the end of the year, you could log in and you then see anywhere between $733 or $813. And you'll see later on, you can easily withdraw that at any point if you wanted to. Or what you may decide to do is actually upgrade to one of the other packs. So once you've got the difference in cost here, plus the $50, you might then upgrade to these other packs. And if we move on further up, we get to the diamond package here. As I said, that's the most popular one that most people come in on. This is $1,350. You can see the typical income you're making here, $3,700 to $4,700 in a year. The one thing you do need to bear in mind is this comment down here. At the end of the year, that package expires. Okay, so that $1,350 you put in, you don't get that back. You've already got that within here. So what you need to bear in mind is you probably need to save some of this money here, the $1,350, because if you're anything like me, you'll want to run it for the second year. If you've already received this sort of return, why wouldn't you carry on? So you just need to bear in mind you need to keep that separate and consider that for the future. And then this is the real top of the range, if you like. In fact, we had someone come in today up in the Highlands of Scotland, and they come straight in at the 10 diamond package. You can see here $13,050, but you're generating between $40,000 and $50,000 a year. And all the person's done is paid that money, and they can just sit back and don't have to do any work at all. I just switched to this slide here. The figures here are exactly the same. The only difference is it's in pounds, and all I've done is I converted it on the exchange rate as of the 4th of June, so the figures might be slightly different, but I'll leave that up there for a couple of seconds so that people can see it when they watch the recorded video. I'm not going to go through every single figure at the end of the day. It's exactly the same as the US dollars. It's just converted into British pounds at the end of the day. What I'll do now is I'll go back to the main presentation. So just to summarize, all those figures can be earned without doing any work at all. So it is, as Darren said at the beginning, a completely passive opportunity. However, some people might like to earn a little bit more money. I can't hear anyone saying, but let me show you what else you can earn. Just bear with me. Can we see that now, Darren?
Yeah, that's all good.
So, as I said, you receive this weekly profit share, but some people might say, well, I want to earn a little bit more money. Well, if you want to, you can start mentioning it to other people. So, if you start doing that, there's even more money that you can earn. But this is entirely optional. You don't have to do this at all. That's very important. But if you should decide to tell a few people, you can receive what's called a referral bonus. And what happens here is you get a percentage. You get 5% of what they've paid as far as the pack's concerned. So if they buy a bronze pack, you get $13, a silver 26, a gold 39, and a diamond 65. And that goes straight into your back office. That's available to use straight away as soon as they buy their pack. They themselves, though, might tell their friends. Well, if they do that, you then receive what's called an indirect bonus, and that's 0.22%. On a diamond pack, that's $2.86. Doesn't sound like a lot of money, but that can soon add up. The actual bonus gets paid down to 10 levels. So you imagine that someone introduces someone else, introduces someone else, and so on all the way down 10 levels. You could have an organization of hundreds, if not thousands of people, and you could be paying that $2.86 at the diamond level on each of those. So that can build up to a substantial income over time. Obviously not in the first few weeks, but as the months and years go by, that could be a significant amount of money. That's just one of the extra income streams. The next one is the most powerful one. This is called the binary bonus. So why is it a binary bonus? Well, binary, the clue's in the title, the figure 2, because you have one team, the left team, and you have a right team. Some people call them legs, a left leg and a right leg, but let's call them teams. We're all about a sports training business. So we've got a left team and we've got a right team. Well, the first thing you need to do is you need to nominate some team captains. We need to have a left team captain and a right team captain. So to do that, you need to introduce someone on what we call your left and someone on your right. You need to find these captains. That then qualifies you to receive binary bonuses. So once you've done that, your account becomes what we call binary active, and you can start receiving binary bonuses. You don't get any points from these two people, but that then qualifies you for the future. So if these team captains go to work with you and start telling other people and bringing them into your organization and bringing them into your team, your points start building up in your left team and your right team. And as an example here, we've got 3,250 points on the left team and 3,100 points on the right team. So what happens is every night the computer system totals up how many points have joined on your left and your right. And in this particular case, there's 3,100 and 3,250. What the system does, it pays you out on the smallest team. So in this case, it's the right team. They've got 3,100 points, which is less than 3,250. So it pays you out on the 3,100, and it pays you out 50% of those points. And 1 point is $1. So in this case, you would have earned $1,550 in that 24-hour period if this happened in your team. So if the right team did this and the left team did this. But it's even better, because what happens is there's an extra 150 points here on the left team. You've not been paid out on that. You don't lose that. That just carries over to the next day. So the left team, if you like, start off with an advantage the next day because they've already got 150 points in here. So if another 150 came in on the right, you'd be paid 50% of that. So that's another $75 that can come in just from that activity. The only bad news is the company limit you on how much money you can earn per day on the binary bonus. So if you're a bronze member, in this particular case, you wouldn't get 1,550. They'd cap you at $1,000. But that's not a problem. You just make sure you upgrade to the next level. And you'll see here a silver, you can get $3,000, gold $5,000, and if you're a diamond member, you can actually get $15,000 in the day. Now, the one thing I didn't point out with these points, how do we get to the 3,100 points? Well, what the system does, it allocates a certain number of points based on which plan your team members have purchased. So it looks at each of these people in each team. It totals up the number of points: 50 for a bronze, 100 for a silver, 150 for a gold, and 250 for a diamond. It totals that up for you. You don't have to do any of the calculation, it does it all for you, and every night you can potentially get paid a binary bonus. Believe it or not, there's even more to be earned. We mentioned earlier about the monthly tips bonus. This is the bonus or the fee that people have to pay every month. But again, they don't need to pay that themselves. That just comes straight out of their back office automatically. But when the system takes that payment, it records that against the person that originally introduces them. So it totals up the number of people that have renewed, if you like, that pack, or who've paid that monthly tips fee in that particular month. So if someone joins, say, on the 4th of the month, every 4th of the month, the system will automatically pay that particular fee. So if they were a bonds member, the system would pay $990, would come out of their account. But you that have introduced them would get a number of points. And in the case of bronze, you would get 1 point. In the case of a silver, 2, a gold, 3, a diamond, 5. So again, every night the system totals up how many people or how many times has the system paid those particular subscriptions or fees. So what happens, for instance, on the 4th of the month, it looks through how many people in your team joined on the 4th of any month since the system started, and it'll total up the number of points on the right and the left, and it'll pay you out on the smallest leg. So in this case, you've got 3 people who joined on that particular day in the month, and another 2 on this side. 3 points is less than 8 points, so it pays you 50% of that, which is $1.50. Again, doesn't sound like a lot of money, but this particular one doesn't pay down to the 10th level. It's like the binary bonus. It pays all the way down your organization. So again, if you've got an organization of hundreds or even thousands of members, that can add up to a significant sum of money paid to you, and that gets paid every night based on the day of the month that people join the organization. The next one is called the Green Diamond bonus, or as someone in my team called it, the Fast Start bonus, which I think is a great name. Fast Start because you need to do it quickly. Well, you've still got 60 days. So if within 60 days of joining Bewisetrader and paying for your package, you introduce 5 people on your left and 5 people on your right as direct referrals, so that means you found them, not someone else. If they come in and join at the diamond level, you then qualify for the Green Diamond bonus. Now, they don't have to initially join at the diamond level. They have to be at least at that level when your 60 days is up. So they might join at bronze and then upgrade later on. Doesn't matter. As long as on the 60th day, you've got 5 on your left and 5 on your right that are all diamonds, you become a Green Diamond. And once you're a Green Diamond, every month on the 5th day, the company pays into your back office a bonus. And that bonus is based on 2% of the monthly net turnover of the company. So that's actually the sales of packs. It's not to do with the trading that Miguel does. It's based on the sales of the packs and new people joining. So it could be existing members buying more packs. It could be new people joining. The company take 2% of that, subtract all the fees for expenses and so on, and then they divide that up against all the Green Diamond members in the company. The most important thing is once you're Green Diamond, you then continue to receive that bonus every month. You don't have to re-qualify. We then have what's called the Black Diamond bonus. This one's a bit more difficult to receive, to achieve. You need to reach 3,000 binary points on each leg for any 20 days in a month. What does that mean? Well, what it means is you need 3,000 points on your left team and 3,000 points on your right team in a particular day. Well, 3,000 points divided by 250 is 12 diamonds. So if you get 12 people who join at the diamond level, or it might be existing people who decide to buy more diamond packs, could even be someone who buys 9 diamond packs and someone else who buys 3. If you get 3,000 on the left and 3,000 on the right, that day counts. You then need to do that for 20 days in a particular month. They don't have to be consecutive, but it just needs to be 20 days. So if you bring your calendar out and you do it one particular day and tick the box, you then need to look at the end of the month and see if you've got 20 ticks. If you've got 20 ticks, you've become a Black Diamond, and the company will then pay you your share of 1% of the monthly net turnover. Now, that's shared across all the Black Diamond members, but you can see there that's quite a difficult thing to achieve. So there's not many people receiving the Black Diamond bonus, and it may just be you that gets that 1% of the monthly net turnover. In addition to those, the company has various career plans and awards. Start off at the Trader Level 1, which is 7,000 points. Trader Level 2, which is 14,000 points. These are all based on what we call the smallest leg or the smallest team. You've then got Trader Level 3, which is 30,000 points. You receive a Mont Blanc pen for that. And then if you get to Senior Trader, which is 150,000 points, you then get a Rolex watch. Moving on, not exciting, you get to 500,000 points, you become a Master Trader. The company then give you a dream holiday for you and a partner to wherever you want. We then have 1,000,000 points. This is when I get a little bit more interested because I like cars. So at 1,000,000 points, you become an Advanced Master Trader. The company then hand over the keys to a new Jaguar XF premium luxury car, and that's yours to keep. And then moving on further, at 2,000,000 points, you become a Trader Coach. The company then hand over a Maserati Gran Turismo. Now that particular vehicle is worth over £100,000. But the thing to note is at this point, you've already achieved 2,000,000 points, and this is on your smallest leg. Remember on the binary plan, the company pay you 50% of your points on your smallest leg. So 50% of 2,000,000 points, that's $1 million. So at this point, the company have paid you $1 million, and in return, they've given you a free motor car, a £100,000 motor car. What a nice reward. So those are some of the things you can do within Bewisetrader. So how do we get our money out? Most important thing. Well, the company have partnered with an organization called Paydiff. You basically register an account with Paydiff. As soon as you have $300 in your Bewisetrader back office, you can request a withdrawal. The company charge you 2.99% to then withdraw that to Paydiff. And when your money hits your Paydiff account, you can then choose to withdraw that either to your bank account or to Nutella or to Perfect Money. The company pay out twice a month. So if you put in your request between the 1st of the month and the 15th of the month, the company will pay to Paydiff on the 20th of the month. If you then request your withdrawal after the 15th, so from the 16th of the month to the end of the month, the company will then pay you on the 5th of the month. The most important thing to remember is when you do request a withdrawal, you need to request it on between a Monday to Friday. You can't request it at a weekend. So that's how we get our money out of the program. So thousands of people have already joined this company. So what are you waiting for to perhaps change your life? The company themselves offer training and tips. You also get the weekly profit share that I talked about. So you don't need to do any work to do that. You don't need to do the trading. You get that every Tuesday paid into your back office. And for those people that want to, and it's entirely optional, they can take it to the next level and treat this as a business opportunity and then start mentioning it perhaps to one or two other people and start to grow a real team and an even bigger income. So thanks for your time. That's the end of the formal presentation. What I'll do now is just give you a quick update in terms of my history with Bewisetrader, where we're currently at as far as the team is concerned, and then I'll hand back over to Darren to run the Q&A session, the question and answer session. If you have got any questions, please type them into the box, and then we will get to those in a few short minutes. So just to give you an update, I personally started with Bewisetrader about 15 weeks ago. It was actually February the 22nd I started. I found out about it. And as soon as I heard about it, I've myself done a lot of sports trading, and I really liked what I heard. It was all about everyone could earn money, and they quote, you'll see some of those figures. You're talking about potentially up to 31% per month they're paying as a profit share, equivalent monthly profit share. And that's what sparked my interest. I then did a lot of homework to check out the company and things like that. And then I started to mention it to one or two friends. I actually have only told 15 people to date, And of those, seven of those people have told a few other people. And then some of those told a few people and told a few people. And at this moment in time, just checked before I came on, we actually have 727 people in this organization, in my team. Last week's presentation I did last Thursday, we were at 648. So the business has grown by 12% just in 7 short days. And the momentum is just growing on a regular basis. We have our own Facebook group, and we literally, just as I checked, I think we're about 970 members at the moment, because we have a lot of people in there. We invite people who are looking at this business and perhaps haven't joined. We invite them into the Facebook group to have a chat with some of the existing members, find out what it's about before they decide to take the plunge. But that's very soon obviously going to hit 1,000 members, which is amazing, really. As far as some of the updates with the company is concerned, some of you may be aware, I've been working recently with a company to try and improve some of the English language they use. So we're now in the situation where all communications from the company should be coming directly through to me. I can then make sure that the Portuguese is into a correct form of English that we all understand. And then recently I've been working on the website that you see at Bewisetrader.com, and hopefully you'll now see that the United Kingdom flag, if you click on it, particularly in Google Chrome, there's always the nuances with different browsers, but if you use Google Chrome, which we recommend, and you click on the Union Jack, you'll magically find all the Portuguese will turn into English, and hopefully that English makes sense to you. The next phase of the project I'm working with the company at the moment is to then change the language in the back office. So at the moment, the language in the back office is Portuguese. However, if you do right-click in Google Chrome, it will convert it to English. But I've given the company a commitment that I'll give them the English. And they said, well, if you give us the English, we'll change that as well so that it actually reads English to you guys as well. So I'll be working with the company in the next few weeks to make sure that is done as well. I've also recently updated the videos that I did at the very, very beginning, back in beginning of March. Thought I'd sort of refresh those up. So we've now got, we've moved over to our own YouTube channel. We've also, I've done the registration videos again, the training videos. I've done a new tour of the back office and tried to explain as much as the functionality as possible to you. So I please encourage you to listen and watch those videos. If you do have any questions, please do get back to your sponsor. As I'm sure you understand, with the team getting bigger and bigger, I can't personally help all 727 members because I wouldn't be able to help everyone at the end of the day. So watch the videos, that's what they're there for. And then if you do have any questions, please get back to your sponsor. I also still have the regular subscribers list on email, so please make sure new members join that subscribers list. And then as and when I send emails out, you'll get that information directly from me. That, I think, is all the updates I had, Darren, unless there was anything specific you had. Otherwise, I'll hand over to you for the Q&A.
Thank you very much, Simon. Very much appreciate it. I'll just click on here. There we go. Hi, guys, I'm back. Right. Okay. So just to remind everybody, as Simon says, this is the Q&A section. And on the bottom right, if you're watching this live, that's the important thing. A, that you're watching it live, and B, that you are obviously watching it via the events page. Because if you do that, you can click on the right-hand, bottom right-hand section and obviously type in a question. And we have a few questions already have come in. So I shall start from the very top. And the first question here is from Crazy Raccoon. So hi, I don't know whether it's Mr. or Mrs. Crazy Raccoon, but hello, Crazy Raccoon. And the question here is, Simon, if I have a member on one of my legs, and I then put my wife on the other leg with a $50 pack, which is that holding pack, will this qualify me for the binary commissions?
The short answer is no. It doesn't. The $50 pack is really a holding position in the binary plan. It isn't an active pack. It doesn't give you any tips. It doesn't give you any profit share, and it also doesn't give you any points. And because it doesn't give you any points, it therefore is not qualifying you for the binary plan. So you do need to, as a minimum, have someone on your left that you've referred, so it's not coming from anyone else. So you've referred at a bronze pack on the left, and someone that you've referred as a bronze pack on the right. So it can be a bronze pack on both sides, but unfortunately not the $50 pack, no.
Okay, all right. Next question is from John Alderdice. Now, John Alderdice has sent in what I think is a really clever question, or really good question. When you receive a transfer from another member to receive to increase the availability in your back office, and you use that to pay an invoice, does the transferred money get used first so that any residual in your back office afterwards will be your own money, and so therefore is available for you to withdraw?
Thank you, John.
You might need to give a bit of background to that question, just in case.
I'll expand it for some of the, because John is a very, very experienced member, and he always likes to challenge me with questions. But you'll be pleased to know, John, I have the answer to that one, because I have tested it for myself. Just as a bit of a background to people, if you don't mind, John, there is the functionality within the system to transfer funds from one account to another. So some of us have, as I mentioned at the beginning, you can have more than one account. So some of us have what we call family accounts. And within those family accounts, you are able to transfer money from one account to another. The thing you need to be careful is there are fees to do that transfer. So the first thing to point out is you need a minimum of $200 between the sending and the receiving account. There is a $5 fee for doing that. And the most important thing that I have to keep reminding people about is if you transfer it what we call upline or downline, so if there's an arrow on your network between those 2 points, then you only get charged $5. But if you do transfer across line, then you do get charged a 25% fee. So it's 25%, it's not a fixed amount. And unfortunately, someone got caught with that this week. And they did remember I'd warned them, but unfortunately they did it. So it's very important that if you've got, for instance, someone on your left and someone on your right, let's say as an example, you have 2 children and they're on your left and right, do not transfer money from one child to another child, because that is cross line, because there is no line between those 2 people. If you want to do that, send it back up to the parent, if that's you, and then send it back down again from the parent to the child. Okay, so it's gone up the 2 lines. Yes, it means it's an extra $5, so it's $10, but it's not going to cost you 25%. So very important to watch that. And then, sorry, John, coming back to your question, the answer is yes. The company, what you have to bear in mind when you do the transfers, as John already knows, when you do those transfers, you can't withdraw that money. So as an example, if you had $1,000 in your back office and you decided to receive $500 from someone else, you can't then withdraw $1,500, because that $500 you've had from someone else is not your money to withdraw. Okay, that is ring fenced, and all you can do with that money is you can buy additional packs or transfer it to someone else. So in that case, John, if you were to buy an invoice or pay for an invoice that was $500, it would take that $500 that's transferred money first, which would then free up your full $1,000 to withdraw at a later stage. So very important thing to note. By all means, transfer money between accounts, but you really only want to do it if you're then going to pay an invoice to buy another pack for yourself or for another family member, or maybe even for a new person that's joining the business.
Okay, and just to clarify, if you are paying an invoice, there's no extra charge for that? There's only a charge for the transfer?
Yeah, you can basically pay anyone's invoice yourself. Doesn't even have to be in your own team. And yes, there's no fee to pay that. You just need to remember your financial password, which sometimes is a challenge for some people. So just a reminder, under personal data, there is a button to click called Recover Financial Password. That will then send an email to you. Sometimes can take up to 15 minutes, but you will get an email that will give you a brand new financial password.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, Crazy Raccoon then has got another question. So Crazy Raccoon is saying, do we know when the training will be available on the site for the trading packs?
Good question. I unfortunately don't know the answer to that, but I do know that some of my upline in Bewisetrader are actually going over to Lisbon next week, the back end of next week. And that is one of the things that they'll be taking with them, to have a meeting with Miguel and his team to just understand what is the state of play, how far have they got in terms of developing the training that I know Miguel is doing. Because when we had a meeting in London a few weeks ago, Miguel said that he was developing those training courses. So I'm sure we'll get an update from them next week on exactly the status of those.
Okay, lovely. Okay, we're now to the last question here. The question here is from Jennifer Bailey. So again, just to remind you guys, as we approach the 45-minute mark, if you've got any question, now is the time to bang it in. If you don't want us to mention your name, that's fine. I don't know why you would, but I don't know. Some people may be like that. But if you have got a question, get that question into us while we go through this one. Otherwise, unfortunately, you'll need to wait for another 7 days. So we have got a question here from Jennifer Bailey. Now, Jennifer, let me put my glasses on for this one. Jennifer is saying, can you explain a bit more about the legs? Can you only have 2? And how do you move people from one leg to another leg? And do you have to do this before they pay their invoices? So quite a few questions there, Simon. Good luck with that one.
Right. Thank you very much. What I'll do is perhaps go to the slide that describes it. Wow, look at that. Oh, what a guess. Slide number 17, straight to it. Straight to it. How about that? Right. Jennifer, to answer your question, can you only have 2 legs? Well, most people have only got 2 legs, unless you want to be rude. Yes, you can only have 2 legs. So you have a left team and a right team. So essentially, when you introduce people, you can only put them on your left or your right. So how does that get controlled? Well, in essence, in your back office, there's a flag on the summary screen, which you can set to either left, right, or balance. So for example, it's set to left. When you introduce someone, as soon as their invoice is paid, so it's not at the point of registration, it's when their invoice is paid. For those people that are in my team, they basically have the facility where I can pay the invoices on behalf of the company, which is a unique position that we're in. All the other teams have to send their information to Portugal, and then they have to wait a week for them to get registered. But in my particular team, I've negotiated with a company a particular position where I can pay invoices on behalf of you. So what that means is I can activate your account almost straight away. So when when you send me that email, or one of your team members sends that email to Bewisetrader uk@gmail.com, that comes through, and it's at that point when I pay the invoice that the system looks to see what flag you've been set. So as an example, Jennifer, if you send through one of your teams and I pay that invoice, it's when I pay that invoice that it looks at your flag. So the most important thing you should do is, when you have a new person joining, the first thing you should do is set the flag to where you want them to be, whether that's on your left or your right. Select that, press the save button. I would then recommend you go to one of the other options on the back office, so maybe the network, and then go back to the summary page just to make sure that you've set it correctly. Because if you don't set it correctly and the invoice gets paid, you cannot change it, okay? And everyone have asked, and I've told you many times, it cannot be changed at all, okay? So please double check before you send any invoices through to be paid, either for your team or any of your team members, because it'll get paid and set where that flag is. Now, as far as the balance is concerned, what happens with the balance is the system, at the same time as when the invoice is paid, it counts up how many points you've got on your right and your left. Now, remember, that may not be people that you've introduced. You may actually have some spillover, because what can happen is, if you've got this situation here, on your left team, if you introduce someone on your left, or any one of these people here introduce someone, they're going to end up on the bottom here. You can't move people around, and you can't put people on top of each other. So they have to go in the next spare space on the left or the right. So with the balance, the system will total up the number of points on your left and right. It'll then position them accordingly. So in this case, the smallest leg is 3,100. So it'll top up the right-hand side, okay? Because it's in balance. So it'll try and get it in balance. So that's what it'll do for the smallest leg. When you've got it set to balance, that's where it'll position those people. Okay, so most important thing, it's not when people register, it's when they get sent through to that email address to me, that when I pay those invoices, that's when they get allocated, and you can't move them once they're there.
Brilliantly concise. Hopefully you got all that, Jennifer. If not, then just let us know again. And what we'll do is we'll try again if there's anything that they didn't quite grab. Okay, we have no more questions, Simon. So whilst we give Jennifer a chance to get back to us, is there anything that you want to add? Sorry to put you on the spot there. You've got a 30-second window.
No, not really. I understand that there's more and more people that are getting together in groups, dotted around the UK and further afield. So it's nice to hear that people are getting together into little teams and sitting down in a relaxing environment and then listening to me on the Google Hangout. So I pass on my thanks to those people. And I hope those meetings have been successful. And that's why Darren and I have said we'll basically keep this time. So 8 o'clock on a Thursday, we will always be running these Hangouts. So if you do want to organize any meetings or anything like that, then please feel free to do those. Short of sickness or illness, then Darren and I will be here every Thursday evening.
Yeah, you sure will. And again, just to go back to right to the beginning, really, of today's Hangout is the focus of, the powerful thing, really, for Bewisetrader from my perspective, and I know it is for quite a few people in my team, is the ability of the 100% passive income. And I say 100% passive because, as Simon's explained throughout the presentation, is that once you've bought a package, that package obviously contains training for how to become a sports trader. Now, I don't gamble, and I don't know a lot about sports, and so therefore it suits me to just buy a package and allow the professionals, if you like, to do their trading, do their job, and then collect a nice weekly income from that, and obviously build that over time into you may come in as a bronze package, you may then build that up to a diamond package. That's very much how I started. I started bronze in the first few weeks, then very quickly built up to a diamond package as commissions built up, and now started to expand that into more diamond packages, and obviously building that up to hopefully 10 diamond packages in the not too distant future. And I think a lot of people are using that strategy, if you like, because as you can see from the charts that Simon's gone through, that is a huge income. That's 3,500 at the bottom end. That's been really, really conservative. That's $3,000 every single month for literally doing no work at all. You don't even need to go into your back office to pay your monthly subscription now. So everything is done for you. So it's really easy income. And Jennifer has just got back to us and has said that was very helpful. Thank you. And she just wants to clarify. So if I'm correct, if you refer more than one person, they are put underneath your first two. Yes, that's correct, Jennifer. It depends on whether you've got them on the left or the right, but yes, in essence.
Yeah, if you look at your network in your back office, some people don't realize, and I do go through it the training video, but if you click on the bottom left-hand person and keep clicking, it'll continue to go down. And eventually you'll see a spare space which doesn't have a name in it. So if you position someone on your left, that's where they're going to go at the bottom of that chain, and similarly on the right-hand side.
Yep. Okay. Right. We have no more questions. Thank you very much, Simon. Really appreciate it again. If there's any feedback on the presentation, obviously we've done the new style last week, and obviously this week, if you've got any feedback, then please get back to us. We are here to help you guys get the message over as succinctly and eloquently. That was done very well. Succinctly and eloquently as possible. So if there's any feedback, please get back to us. Thank you very much. We'll see you.
One last thing, Darren.
Yep.
Just one last thing which I didn't mention. I talked about the new videos for training and everything else. Someone's just reminded me. I have actually now done a voiceover of this particular presentation. It doesn't actually go into the team building aspect. It purely talks about the passive side. So it's about a 6.5 minute video. So I basically go through this presentation, show the charts and that sort of stuff. And people have started to use that to send out to potential prospects, and they're getting some good success from that. So please look out for that. It is in our playlist. It's on our YouTube channel. So please feel free to use that however you wish. But so far, we're having some good success with that.
Yes, and I can testify to that because I've sent that out to 4 people this week. 3 of them have got back to me, and 1 of them has actually joined. So it does work.
Great.
So thank you very much for that.
Thanks, Darren.
Cheers, guys. And
Cheers.
we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.